It was another outstanding night at the CenturyLink Center as Missy Franklin earned her second trip to her Olympics with her second place finish in the 200 free. And Michael Phelps will be representing the United States for a record 5th time. I'm Caitlin Sandino, and along with Carolyn Joyce, let's get right into last night. Kara, what was your favorite moment of last night's finals?
My favorite moment from last night, not to be cliche, but I'm going to have to say Michael Phelps punching his ticket for his 5th Olympic Games. Something that I've always loved about Michael is, as good as he is, he always lets his swimming talk for him.
Right.
He's not much of a showboater, but when he touched the wall last night and held up that big number 5,
right.
it gives me chills even right now. So my hat's off to Michael. Incredible
right.
swim for him.
I shared this last night when I got the opportunity to interview him. I ran into Michael earlier this week, and he's like, he made this comment that was very simple, but I found it very powerful coming from him. He simply said, "It feels so great to be back," and I just really believed him. He said it with such pride and happiness and so much joy, and I really see that in him right now. And I feel like, I've known Michael since I was 17 years old. It's a different Michael out there. Still, a beast in the pool, but mentally in the way he's presenting, I think his interviews are better. I think the way he's interacting with the crowd is better. He ran over to Nicole, his fiance, and his baby afterwards, and his mom. I think it's just very special to see this new Michael Phelps.
I couldn't agree more. Having also known Michael for several
right.
years, it seems like he's finally found peace.
Right.
He is so happy. He's very, you can tell, he's very proud of his family that he's
right.
building right now, and you can tell it's coming from a good place with him.
Right. So let's get to all the highlights of
okay.
last night. There was a lot of them.
Yes.
So let's get into the men's 100 free semifinal.
Men's 100 free semifinal, we had Nathan Adrian out in front, which was not a surprise.
Right.
We have Caleb Dressel, we have Anthony Irvin heading into the finals tonight, and somebody that I was actually really happy to see squeak in there was Jimmy Fegan. Not had the best couple years, but is really coming out at this trials. He qualified in 2012, so
I think what you said yesterday about Nathan Adrian, consistent. He's such a consistent swimmer. Speaking of consistent swimmers, like Katie Ledecky in the 200 free final.
Yeah, Katie Ledecky out in front, just as we suspected. A really strong swim for her. And then we finally have Missy Franklin punching her ticket with that second place swim. This will get Missy in the 200 free and also on that 4x2 relay. Allison Schmidt and Leah Smith rounding out those top 4 places.
Excited for all 4 of those girls. So we've already talked about it. Let's talk about it a little bit more. The men's 200-meter butterfly.
Men's 200 fly, Michael Phelps, here he is, qualifying for his 5th Olympic Games. Took it out very strong. We actually saw Tom Shields come on strong off the last wall, but Michael wasn't going to let it stand, being the champion that he is. He looked like he locked up maybe a little bit under the flags.
A little tired.
I think we'll see an even better swim out of him in Rio.
Oh, definitely. Saving up. He's got to save for the grand finale. Women's 200-meter fly semifinals.
Women's 200 fly, Camille Adams not shaken by the little controversy
right.
from the prelims, having her disqualification overturned. I love Camille's approach to this race. Stays very calm and relaxed. You see, she doesn't take it out fast, but she has that closing speed like no other in this race.
One of my favorite moments from last night was the men's 200 breast semifinals. So you had Kevin Cordes, who's like on a world record pace, and the crowd went bananas. The crowd was so loud. I can't even explain to you how electric it was in here during his race.
You really can feel the energy.
Semis.
Yeah, you can feel the energy. And, with this final of the 200 breast tonight, Kevin Cordes flirting with that world record line like you can see here, we might see our first world record of this meet, which would be great.
The women's 200 IM final, one of my favorite races that there are.
Women's 200 IM, here we have Maya Dorado having doubled up now. She qualified in the 400 IM on day 1, and now she has her second event in this 200 IM. And then we saw a big finish out of Melanie Margalis, coming fresh out of the 200 free final, right into the 200 IM. We've never seen anybody do this double before, so really strong swim for these ladies.
I thought her finish was incredible. I mean, it was a 5/100s that separated second and third, and obviously disappointing Caitlin Leverance as she comes in third. Maya, now 400 IM, 200 IM. This girl's on fire. She's going to have such a fun meet, and I think we're going to see some great things in Rio.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about what to expect today. First of all, it's a sprint day. The women start this morning with the 100 free prelims, and the men will have their 100 free finals tonight. All right, Kara, I know this is a soft spot for you. Here we go.
You're going to see me geek out for a minute. So
bear with us.
We start out with the women's 100 freestyle. I talked about this a little bit yesterday, but the sprint events at this meet really is half the battle is the waiting game.
Right.
So we're on day 5 now. A lot of these women haven't even raced yet.
Right. That's hard.
It is. It gets a little challenging. We're going to see some familiar faces that have already had a couple races under their belt, like Vollmer, Coughlin, Franklin, Manuel. We're going to see a new face, a relatively new face in this event with Katie Ledecky coming all the way down to the 100 free distance to, test her.
Shake things up a little bit.
Yeah, because why not? She's
Keep
Katie
other competitors
Ledecky.
On their toes. Like, oh, great, Katie's in my race again.
Absolutely. And then we're going to see some people that could potentially be first-time Olympians in this event with Madison Kennedy, Ivy Martin, and Abby Weitzel. Madison Kennedy finished in the top 8 in this event 4 years ago, but unfortunately was in the bottom 2. So has never qualified for the Olympics, but she's 28 years old. She has been phenomenal this season. So we're going to see some really fast swimming in that event.
Does it make you want to put your suit on and go grab your Kakuma goggles and get in that ready room?
No.
Moving on to the men's 100 freestyle.
So our next event tonight is going to be the women's 200. This morning is going to be the women's 200 breaststroke.
Okay.
The women's 200 breaststroke, it's hard not to say Lily King won't be a favorite. With her 105 low qualifying for the Olympics a couple nights ago, I think Lily King is going to be really strong in this event. And then we have Michael Lawrence. Michael Lawrence has been training out in Singapore with former bowls coach Sergio Lopez, phenomenal coach. And I think she's going to come on really strong in this event. This one is more her bread and butter, having qualified for this event in London 4 years ago.
All right, men's 200 backstroke.
Men's 200 backstroke, I think it's the Ryan Murphy, Jacob Pebley show. These guys have already shown a lot of strength in their backstroke events at this meet. I don't think that anyone's going to come close.
And the men's 200 IM?
The men's 200 IM, this race is going to be out of this world. So we have the two kings of swimming. It's hard to deny. We have Ryan Lochte and Michael Phelps. Interesting fact about this race between Lochte and Phelps, they hold 10 of the top 10 times of all time, split evenly, 5 and 5 each. But Ryan Lochte does have the world record, the fastest time ever. And Michael and Ryan, they are very familiar going head-to-head, racing stroke for stroke in this event. So keep an eye on this race. It's going to be lights out.
All right, so you got so excited about the women's 100 free. We skipped over the men's 100 free, the final tonight. Nathan Adrian, obviously a favorite, but some other guys that can punch their ticket out there. Who do you expect for top 2?
Top 2, I would say my favorite, of course, is Nathan. We've seen some really great speed out of Anthony Irvin in this race. He had a little hard time with his turn last night. I don't know if you caught that. He had a long glide into the wall. And I think that did affect his time, but he's going to be really strong in that race. Caleb Dressel too.
Right. I like what you said. You're like, Anthony's the oldest guy out here, and he does a turn like that. Anthony, rookie. We can say that we're friends with him.
He's been swimming longer than anyone else here, and he still makes rookie mistakes like that. I think it happens to everyone. At least it was in the semifinal, not in the final, and he's got a lane. So
we touched on Katie Ledecky. He's going to be swimming the 100 freestyle today. We have a little bit of audio from her. This should be pretty entertaining. What did you hear? Her coach said something really entertaining, right? Like,
yeah, we should check it out. We have a press conference from Katie.
It looks like all your races, you're taking them out like you're preparing yourself for the 100 free.
We were walking back here, and Bruce is like, "Come on, the clock's ticking. I have 12 hours to teach you how to swim 100 free." But I think I've shown him this week that I have a little bit of speed, and I think I'm ready for the 100 tomorrow. Should be, again, great racing, a lot of fun.
There we have Katie throwing some humor into it.
Perfect.
She's just one of those swimmers, similar to Michael. You can kind of throw her in anything, and she's going to do something phenomenal. All eyes are going to be on her in that 100 free.
Definitely. Kara, as always, thank you for being here.
My pleasure.